Hi everyone, thank you for being here with us today. My name is Stelios. I'm from Tesseract Academy. Let me type this in the chat for those of you who want to check the company out. And this is part B of Cohort 2 for the program of AI for creative industries. So this is the official second launch of the second part of our cohort. So this is a program fully funded by Innovate UK and Bridge AI. And the objective of the program is to equip and upskill creative professionals in AI. And fully funded means that essentially the program is 100% free if you fulfill these two requirements. You're a UK resident and you're a professional in the space of creative industries. So in terms of our agenda for today, I'm going to go through an overview of the program, and then we're going to share a submission form which will enable you to join the program. At the end of the presentation, there's going to be a Q&A session, and I'm also going to be sharing links to a WhatsApp group that we have in case you want to join that too. The reason being that we often organize other types of events, and we use WhatsApp as well as Slack for coordination. Yeah. So let's get started. So who we are with Tesseract Academy, and there's essentially a second arm to the business called Tesseract Consulting and Advisory, and we're an AI education and training and consulting company with close to a decade of experience. So we've been doing AI as well as data science for a while now. Me personally, I'm the CEO of the company. I've been in this space for a very long time. I have a PhD in machine learning from University College London, and I also have written 3 different books on the topic, like Predicting the Unknown, Business Models in Emerging Technologies, and The Decision Maker's Handbook to Data Science. So I've spent a good part of my career building solutions for the industry, a decent part in academia, and I've also spent a very good part explaining to professionals how to make the most of technology, primarily data, as well as AI. There's also some work we're doing in Web3, and I thought I'd mention this because while it's not part of the program per se, we had some creatives in previous cohort who asked us about things like NFTs and the metaverse and things like that. So AI is changing the world, right? So it's bringing profound changes to every aspect of our lives as well as the economy, and creative professionals are not left untouched. Okay, so and AI is affecting the job market in many different ways. So here are some stats that you should know. For example, close to 20 trillion is going to be pumped into the economy by 2030 due to AI. And the majority of executives see AI as a must in their firms, with the majority of firms using AI by the end of the decade. At the same time, we're going to see a massive job replacement with 25% of written tasks or jobs being replaced by AI. So there's this interesting, let's say, shift happening in the economy with more and more firms using AI, while at the same time we're seeing a partial job replacement. But I'll explain to a second while this job replacement is not what a lot of people make it out to be, which is just job losses. I think we're also going to see a lot of new jobs being created, especially in the creative sector. So that's why I think you're all now in the right place. So in terms of how AI is being used in the creative sector, 83% of creative professionals now use generative AI in their work, with 20% stating that their employers or clients require its use. And there's different stats coming from different professions, but we see, for example, translators, illustrators, and a lot of different other professions, they're making heavy use of AI. And obviously, these percentages, they go up and up over time. So these are statistics from different studies conducted a few months back. I'm pretty sure if we repeat the same exercise next year, we're going to see a lot more people are using AI. And the global creative AI market is going to reach a multi-billion dollar valuation by 2027. My personal opinion is that it may go even higher because we're seeing a lot of investment happening in things like video creation with the intention to even create movies and series using AI. We've already seen AI being very effective in music with, for example, an AI generated music band being very successful recently, which is quite crazy. Like if you think about it, this wasn't possible a few years back. Um, in terms of adoption rates of AI across different creative professions, we have graphic designers, social media managers, content writers, directors, musicians. And again, this is simply a figure to illustrate that adoption is happening in all creative professions. And again, that's not like an exhaustive list, but I think it's a fairly reasonable, let's say, has very fairly reasonable coverage of the different areas of AI. And again, adoption is just going up over time. And the end point is that AI is here to stay. And also, this means from a purely practical perspective, there's more and more tools that creatives can use. So it's not just about the fact that jobs are going to change or jobs are going to be lost. I think also jobs become more efficient, new jobs are being created. A lot of the work that was done by humans now is done by tools. And there's a lot of tools to choose. Actually, one of the most popular requests we get in our program is around, teaching different types of tools. There's going to be new areas of expertise as well as new roles like the AI image creator. And then what is AI in creative? And in terms of creative industries, like other than the tools, I think that most of the applications of what we call AI usually comes down to generative models, which can be text, which is the most famous example. That's how I think this revolution started through ChatGPT 3.5, as well as images, video, audio. Then machine learning is more mature than generative AI. I think it's somewhat underutilized in many of these cases. But you can argue that again, generative AI is kind of a machine learning application. And then a lot of automation, right? So there's a lot of, I think right now the hottest area, not in creative industries per se, but the hottest area in AI applications is around agents. And which and essentially what agents can do is they can automate stuff which is normally, tasks which normally humans do. So then we have AI applications in different areas. So we cover all that on the course, which I'll get that to in a second. For example, For example, fashion, brand identity, and things like visual editing. We also cover a lot of these tools in our program, and we can also run workshops, like live workshops, if there's enough demand for it, even online or in person. Similarly, AI is also revolutionizing music, film, and entertainment. And there's many different success stories as to how AI is being used in the real world. But I think really these are just some stats just to, kind of make a point here. But I think the end point and, the goal behind this program is not the success stories that other companies are experiencing, is how you can make this your personal success story, right? How can you use AI to make sure that you succeed in your career, whether you're a UX designer, a musician, an artist, a screenwriter. We had all kinds of people so far join the program, including people in what you'd call the very broad and wide, let's say, spectrum of creative professionals, right? Which could be, for example, creative thinking. We had someone who said, "Yes, I'm all about creative thinking." So what should the creative professional do, right? So you have things like the first of all, you need to come up with an AI roadmap for your career, right? It's one of the things that we work on in this program. Then you need to acquire the right skills. Then you need to build the AI. You will need to build an AI portfolio. And these are all things that we cover in our program. We try to keep it flexible and relevant for everyone. But essentially, this comes down to, okay, this is where I want to be or where I need to be in a few years. These are the skills I need to learn. And this is how I'm going to prove that I actually have these skills. So in terms of the trends and the opportunities, I think that we're going to see a few different opportunity areas. First of all, we're going to see new career paths, which obviously that's high opportunity and high risk because you don't know what this will look like. But I'm pretty sure that if you give it some thought, you'll be like, oh, I think that in the near future, for example, creative directors will do things in this and that way, and maybe this will turn up to be a new role. Then enhanced capabilities in terms of doing the same thing but doing it faster, which means you can do more work or better quality work. And then market growth, right? So we're gonna see the market as a whole like just increasing in size. In terms of let's say employability and employment, our thesis is that you shouldn't change career, but rather you should essentially try to adapt. So if you look in the growth of the creative industry sector in the UK, you see that it's fairly linear with the exception of the COVID years, kind of. Essentially, what we see is that AI hasn't really impeded this growth. So what this tells us is that the sector as a whole is just going to keep growing, right? And this is other things we saw like in past revolutions, like with the internet. So we didn't really see, for example, books we didn't see people stop reading books, right? We just saw books taking up different formats through online publishing and digital publishing and all these kinds of things. So essentially, we believe that we're going to see an even like at the very least this linear growth trend is going to continue, but we might actually see larger growth across the years, which means that creative professionals need to be uniquely positioned in order to capitalize on this. Yeah. And in terms of the program, I just shared the link for anyone who is online, if anyone can see this. I shared the link in the chat now. So the program is fully funded by Innovate UK Bridge AI, and essentially the goal of the program is to upskill creators in the use of AI. So the requirement is that you need to be a professional in the space of creative industries and that you're UK based. Yeah. And in terms of what we're covering a lot of different things, but our core ethos is that we care more about impact, right? So this means that we're very open to feedback, we're very open to essentially ideas, we're very open to course requests, we're very open to different things. So we have three pillars. We have online content using our own learning management system, and the link to that the registration link I shared in the chat is going to lead you to our registration page for the program. We have group calls and we have project work, right? So the group calls happen every couple of weeks or so, and then the project work is individual, and it's for those of you who want to get certified and they want to do more in-depth work to improve their portfolio. It's understandable. Not anyone has the commitment, so it has the time to commit that many hours. So there's a few different, let's say, tiers, right? So there's a very basic tier for those who just want to go through the program and say, yes, I can kind of certify I've taken some modules. So you just at least spend a few hours, you learn some things, and that's it. All the way to the top tier, which is someone that has been through all the modules and has done a proper project. And it's a bit like doing a mini master's degree, right? There's all kinds of different content. You're gonna see the courses after you join, and we keep adding. Now we have AI avatars as well as real humans. For example, like Sama, who's a professor at King's. I'm also teaching some of these courses. And we cover a lot of different areas. We cover, for example, AI case studies, AI road mapping, career-related things, prompt engineering, different creative areas like music, screenwriting, creative writing. Obviously, you don't have to do all of that. You can just focus on the ones that you think they're the most relevant for you. But essentially, we like to give you the option to do all that. Yeah. And then in terms of essential tools and we also cover essential tools. And as I mentioned, we also cover what I was saying, yeah, you can also give us your requests, like course requests and workshop requests. So if, for example, you're like, hey, because there's so many tools out there, we'd like you to cover this area or that area, we're more than happy to do this. Yeah. And either again, online or in person. Normally this event takes place in person, but there's so much demand that we decided to also run online sessions. And then we have these group calls. They're either weekly or bi-weekly. Again, it depends on what the participants want. Plus webinars, as well as course and module requests. And finally, there's this piece of project work, and it's usually the key piece for the advanced certificate. And really, it's not, I mean, we provide the certification because it helps motivate our participants, and um, it also helps your profile. But at the end of the day, it's about you, right? It's about how you can acquire the right skills and you can demonstrate you have the right skills, and you can use this in whichever way you want. So if, for example, you want to start your own creative practice, maybe this project that you work alongside us, it can be the launch pad to you achieving this goal. Or maybe you work in a business, in a company, and you want to use the project work in order to essentially improve certain things within your business, whether it's AI automation or otherwise. And yeah, that's the registration link. Thank you for being here with me today. And now I'm gonna leave it I'm gonna open up the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to either raise your hand or type in the chat. And I'm more than happy to help you out. And I also hope that you're gonna join the program. Again, it's fully funded. By joining, you confirm you're UK resident and in industries and professionally the creative industry sector. And after you join, you're going to be receiving an email asking you to join either Slack or our WhatsApp group. We're probably going to move to WhatsApp so we can. And we're doing this because we want to have an active community, and your feedback is very important to us, right? And also the ideas that you share. So yeah, thank you very much. Any questions?